Have there been people in your life who could ruin your entire day with just one word? Who acted as if their whole goal was to drag you down to their level, drain your energy, and leave you overwhelmed with anger? They constantly criticize, treat you unfairly, and wound your heart with their words. And the most dangerous part is, without even realizing it, we fall into their trap and forget our own values. But the Stoic philosopher Epictetus warned us years ago, it's not what happens to you, but how you think about it that hurts you. This means that the way to overcome toxic people isn't by changing them, it's by protecting your inner peace. In this video, I will share with you 7 powerful lessons based on Epictetus's teachings that you can apply when dealing with toxic people. If you watch until the end, you will no longer be a prisoner of their words and actions. Before we start, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share this video with your friends so they too can benefit from this secret to calmness and strength. Now let's begin. In general, all Stoic philosophers advise focusing on your own reaction when dealing with toxic people. One of Epictetus's deepest insights is, it's not the event itself that disturbs you, but the meaning you give it. This might sound like just a philosophical phrase, but in reality it has the power to change your life. Because often we think that what upsets us is someone's words, actions, or unfair treatment. But what really burns us is the explanation and judgment we give to that event inside ourselves. That is why the first of the 7 powerful lessons you'll learn for dealing with toxic people is this: your reaction is your choice. Imagine this: you're at work, presenting a project you've worked hard on, and a colleague sarcastically says in front of everyone, "You call this a project?" Inside you, a fire ignites. Your nerves, pride, and anger mix together. Your body floods with adrenaline. In this situation, many people immediately respond, defend themselves, or sometimes shout back. But Epictetus says the choice is in your hands. The event has already happened. You can't change that, but you can control how it affects you. Now ask yourself, how will I react right now? This simple question gives you a moment to breathe. That pause opens the door to making a thoughtful decision instead of a quick reaction driven by anger. The Stoic approach is, don't react automatically. An automatic reaction means being a prisoner of your emotions. You must be the one who controls yourself, not controlled by events. If every criticism, mockery, or harsh word steals your peace, it means you have handed your peace over to them. Sometimes people want to upset you on purpose. For them, it's a show of power. They want to take you out of the game, to pull you down to their emotional level. But when you stay calm, even smile, they lose their power. It's like someone throws a ball to you, but instead of catching it, you step aside. The ball falls empty and the game is broken. For example, in ancient Rome, warriors tried to break each other, not only with swords, but also with words. Epictetus said that true strength is not skillfully wielding your sword, but resisting provocations that would make you draw it. Here's a simple technique to apply this principle in your life. Pause. When someone says something that could anger you, don't respond immediately. Take 1 or 2 deep breaths. Reflect with a question. Ask yourself, will this matter to me in a month or a year? Remember your power of control. No one can make you angry without your consent. Remember, calmness is the most powerful weapon you hold. Toxic people feed on your reaction. The moment you don't react, you've already won. Lesson 2. Distinguish between what you can control and what you cannot. One of the greatest truths at the heart of Epictetus's philosophy is, the secret to happiness is to separate what is within your control from what is not. This might seem like a simple idea, but in reality, the root of much of our stress, anger, and disappointment lies in our failure to make this distinction properly. We often try to change what others say, how they behave, or what they think about us. But it's like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. Here's an example from life. Imagine you're working hard on a very important project and give it your all. But at the end, instead of appreciating your work, your boss criticizes you. Your first reaction might be to feel hurt, angry, or even lose motivation. But the Stoic perspective says you cannot change their opinion, but you can choose whether their words affect your inner value. Epictetus explained this principle using the two lists method. On the first list are things within your control, your thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. On the second list are things beyond your control, other people's words, actions, attitudes toward you, the weather, the economy, and so on. His advice is simple. Spend your energy only on what's on the first list. Toxic people usually belong to the second list. Their words, actions, and negative energy are beyond your control. If you try to control these, you will repeatedly fail and lose your inner peace. For example, if someone leaves a disrespectful comment on your social media post and you spend hours thinking about it and planning a response, you are wasting your energy on the second list. What you can control is simply whether to respond or not. And sometimes, the best response is no response at all. As you apply this principle in your life, you will feel a strange calm because you no longer try to force the world to be the way you want. Instead, you control yourself. And interestingly, the more you control yourself, the less the people and events around you affect you. Epictetus said that if you focus your power on your inner world, no toxic person can take your peace away. They remain on their level, but you will be on another plane, where their words and actions cannot reach you. Lesson 3. Use the power of silence. Toxic people feed on one thing: attention and reaction. They want to create an emotional explosion in you through their words and actions. If you react, get angry, shout, or go on the defensive, they win because they achieve their goal. But when you stay silent, you completely disrupt the game. For Epictetus, silence was not just the absence of words, but the preservation of inner calm. He said one of the strongest responses a person can give is no response at all. It sends a message to the other side. I will not surrender my power to you. Imagine a situation in your life. Someone says something rude to you, or even makes an insulting gesture. The first impulse is usually to immediately respond. But when you don't and simply look calmly, sometimes even smile, the other person is confused. They expected an emotional reaction, and you didn't give them that fuel. This can be best explained with a sports example. Professional boxers in the ring try to defeat their opponents, not only with punches, but also with psychological tactics. One taunts the other, trying to make them angry and make a mistake. But if the boxer stays calm and sticks to their game plan, the opponent's strategy falls apart. Life is the same. Toxic people taunt you, but if you don't engage, their plan fails. Silence not only confuses the other person, but also gives you time to think. Because speaking is often driven by emotion, but silence allows you to keep control. Sometimes you say more by saying nothing. People are forced to hear the voice of their own conscience in the silence. Of course, here, silence doesn't mean shut up and accept everything. It is a chosen strategy to protect your energy and manage the moment. For the Stoics, it is a sign of inner strength. Remember, shouting and going on the defensive can sometimes be signs of weakness, but silence is the strongest form of self-control and mastering the situation. If you can gain this power, the words and actions of toxic people will only brush past you like the wind. They won't shake you. Lesson 4. Stay true to your values. Epictetus said, live not according to the values of others, but according to your own. Although this sounds simple, it can be difficult to practice, especially when dealing with toxic people. They want to pull you down to their level, to make you abandon your principles. And if you allow it, you end up playing their game. Imagine for a moment, you are a respectful, calm, and fair person, but someone treats you unfairly, insults you, mocks you. Immediately you feel the urge to give them a fitting response, as if justice won't be restored until you do. But the problem is that in such moments, your reply often mirrors their tone. This distances you from your own values. For Epictetus, strength was not in responding to another's bad behavior on their level, but in staying true to your values. He said that if you have chosen honesty, respect, and calmness, no matter how provocative the other person is. Don't stray from that path. For example, in ancient Greece, a man insulted a philosopher who just smiled calmly. People around asked, "He insulted you, why didn't you respond?" The philosopher replied, "He tried to give me a gift, but I did not accept it." Staying true to your values is like that. Toxic people offer you negativity, but it's up to you to accept it or not. How can you apply this practically? Identify your values: respect, honesty, justice, patience. Know what values you want to embody. Recognize provocations. If someone pushes you toward an emotional reaction, remember it's a test. Ask before acting. Does this action align with my values? If someone insults you and you respond in the same tone, you might feel relief momentarily, but later your conscience will ask, is this the person I want to be? Staying true to your values means choosing long-term strength over short-term victory. Toxic people often set traps to pull you down to their level, but as long as you stay true to your principles, you don't sink down. You force them to rise up to your level. This is a quiet but powerful victory. According to Epictetus, no matter how chaotic the outside world is, your inner values must remain stable. Only this stability will bring you real inner peace and strength. Lesson 5. Their behavior has nothing to do with you. The behavior of toxic people we meet in life often shakes us deeply. Their words, criticism, and anger can make us feel worthless. But there is a very important understanding here. How others see you and their negative behavior toward you actually reflect their own inner world, not your worth. Epictetus expressed this principle simply but powerfully. What others say and do is a reflection of their own inner world. It has nothing to do with who you are. This means a toxic person's anger, jealousy, or criticism is the result of their own inner struggles, such as feeling worthless, fear, dissatisfaction, or imperfection. You are not obligated to accept or carry these negative emotions. Consider this example. Imagine a colleague at work who constantly behaves coldly and negatively toward you, always looking for ways to belittle you. At first you might feel guilty, wondering, maybe I'm not doing my job well. But in truth, their behavior comes from their own insecurity or dissatisfaction in the workplace. It has nothing to do with your abilities or value. Epictetus invites us to think like this. Someone's negative behavior is directed at you, but you should not take it personally. It is their burden, not yours. This mindset lightens your emotional load and helps you remain calm. How can you practically apply this? Stop personalizing. When someone criticizes or treats you unfairly, take a deep breath and remind yourself, this is their problem. It has nothing to do with my worth. Try to empathize. Think about what inner pain might be driving the toxic person. This softens you and prevents harsh reactions. Build self-protection mechanisms. For example, instead of reacting emotionally right away to what they say, try to maintain distance. Another helpful thought. Your value does not depend on others' judgment. You know and accept your worth from within. Negative reactions from others reflect them, not you. When this principle is applied in life, we get hurt less, get angry less, and ultimately protect our inner peace. This is the strongest line of defense against toxic people. Lesson 6. Create your inner sanctuary. Life isn't always a calm harbor. Sometimes it's a stormy sea. Especially when facing toxic people, it's easy to get lost in the emotional storm they create. But Epictetus shows us that your strength lies in your inner sanctuary. What is this inner sanctuary? It is an inner calm, stability, and power that no one and nothing can take away from you. No matter how chaotic the outside world is, your inside must remain calm and strong. Imagine your day is surrounded by toxic words, unfair criticism, and ill-intentioned people. If your inner sanctuary is strong, none of these can shake you. You remain calm and balanced because your source of energy is not outside, it is within you. There are various ways to build your inner sanctuary. Meditation and breathing exercises, sitting quietly for a few minutes daily, Taking deep breaths, calming your mind, renews your inner energy. Daily solitude. Taking some time alone every day to think and listen to yourself gives you inner strength. Focusing on your values, remembering and staying true to your principles, strengthens the walls of your sanctuary. Positive affirmations, saying strong and positive words to yourself, like "I am calm and strong," empowers your inner self. When your inner sanctuary is strong, the things that bother you begin to leave you. Amid the noise they create, you alone hear your quiet voice. Finally, lesson 7. Limit toxic relationships. Epictetus said one of the most important skills for managing your life is protecting yourself and deciding what you allow into your life. You cannot and do not have to accept everyone and everything. Toxic people sometimes cause such deep wounds that repeatedly accepting them can harm you. Stoic philosophy teaches us that sometimes the wisest path for inner peace and health is to limit connections and keep distance. This distance can be physical, emotional, or social. For example, if someone at work or in your family continuously harms you, minimizing contact with them helps protect your inner peace. The ancient Stoics said about dealing with difficult people, "If you want to engage in a dialogue with someone that threatens your peace, then step away. If necessary, quietly take your own path." Practically, what can you do? Set boundaries. Be clear about what behaviors you will not accept and strengthen that within yourself. Create emotional distance. Maintain internal space in relationships with draining people. Prioritize healthy relationships. Spend time with people who give you positive energy. Keep physical distance if needed. Reduce or stop meetings with toxic people to protect yourself. Remember, you are a person who knows your worth and has a strong inner sanctuary. Toxic people cannot shake you if you do not give them space in your life. As Epictetus said, you must learn to let go of what you cannot control, so that you do not lose your inner freedom. Thus, when we encounter toxic people, Epictetus's teachings give us inner calm and strength. Controlling our reactions, letting go of what we can't control, staying silent, remaining true to our values, not taking behaviors personally, building an inner sanctuary, and limiting toxic relationships. These are our greatest weapons. Thank you for watching so far. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends so they too can benefit from this secret of calm and strength. See you in the next video.